49:21. Naphtali is the deer let loose. He uses beautiful words. Now, what do you think his banner is going to have on it? A deer. But anyway, he actually comes from Bilhah, which is Rachel's servant, and Genesis 30, verse 7 and 8, it says, Rachel's servant Bilhah conceived again, and she bore a second son, to Jacob. Then Rachel said, with mighty wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister, and have prevailed. So she called his name Naphtali. And that comes from two words. Naphtal means to twist, and Tale means lamb or ram. So Naphtali, my wrestlings. And he's like a deer let loose to give beautiful words. Okay, that reminds me of someone who just gets saved. That's what they want to do, don't they? They just get saved. They want to run around and tell everybody. Beautiful words coming out of their mouth. Okay, they're set free from that bondage that they have been holding them all this time. And just like the woman at the well. That's what she did, didn't she? She went back and come see what I found. He knows everything about me.
Right.
And we see this in many people in the scriptures, how they just, once they're healed, they want to run around and tell everybody. And that's what people do when they get saved. Okay, so Naphtali is located right next to Asher. We just looked at them. And this is connected to the New Testament. In Matthew 4, 12 to 16, it says, now when Jesus heard that John had been put into prison, he departed to Galilee, and leaving Nazareth, he came to dwell in Capernaum, which is by the sea in the regions of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled was spoken by the prophet Isaiah, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali by the way of the sea, behold, the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles, the people who sat in darkness have seen a great light, and upon those who sat in the region in the shadow of death, light has dawned. So we're seeing that this is connected, and that comes from Isaiah. So you have these connections here of being glorious, increased joy, like at a harvest. So here's another thing to keep in mind here too. Remember when we were talking about Zebulun, and it says Zebulun, it's got a little picture here, little spot. Well, he went from sea to sea, and I made very numerous connections, and this is one of the verses that'll show you that. If that verse is going to make sense, Zebulun at least had to go to the Sea of Galilee. Okay? So this would be associated with Aries, the ram. Naphtali, Tale would have a ram or a lamb in it. And the twistings, the Naphtal, would be kind of like probably when Christ was on the cross. Okay, and twisted. So the Decans would be the sea monster, and if you remember that he's the one chained to the two fish in Pisces, and the lamb breaking the chains, being set free. You have Cassiopeia, the enthroned woman, and then you have Perseus, the breaker. Okay, and that would be connected to Micah 2:13. He who opens the branch goes up before them. They break through and pass the gate, going out by it. Their king passes on before them, the Lord at their head. And I believe this is probably even connected to Tamar. Remember Tamar? She had two children. They were twins. One of them was named Perez, and one was named Zerah. Breakthrough and seed. Those both picture Christ. So he's the breaker. The ones that broke through. Okay. And the lamb also points to Christ. And the banners that they're going to have would be a deer. They're going to have a deer on it. He's like a deer let loose. Okay. So